back to my YouTube channel. I'm Jay, and this is my Knit and Purl Jam. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed my tour, my room tour. I enjoyed getting it ready for you. It was a lot of work, but here I am again, all dressed up for Christmas. So I've got a lot to show you, got a lot to talk about, so let's get started. But first, we have to say hello to Knit and Purl. Well, I tell you, this year I decided to get out with the people. And I did a Black Friday sale at Joann's. And so I thought you might want to see what my haul for this year. Some of it good, some of it not so good. So let's just start over here at Joann's. I went ahead and started buying my new boxes for the spring. These were on clearance. So I went ahead and bought me a couple. I haven't decided what to do with them yet, but aren't they pretty? I also picked up a little yarn and some beads, just little things. Look how pretty some of these beads are. I was so excited. And after that, my task light went out, so I decided, I've got a 50% coupon and they have lights 50%. So I went and bought this big bad boy. Bummer! Hate it. Going to take it back just as soon as I can get myself over there. It's big, it's heavy. They didn't talk to any craft people, I don't think, before they made it. Not happy with it. Now some of you may like it, but I surely didn't. So this one, bad boy, will be going back. Next thing that I bought was this counter light. Like this one. Watch. Isn't that beautiful? Well, I think I'll keep this one. It was 70% off. 70%. I thought, you know what, I can move this one around. Take the big one back, keep the small one. What do you think? I think it's really pretty. I can use it for all kind of little small things I need to do. And now I'm going to show you a few things that I'm getting ready for Christmas gifts. Okay, I went to Joann's. I got all my buggy full. And I'm standing in the checkout counter with about 100 other people, and they have this yarn right as you're moving up the line. It's called kepi. One ball makes one hat, child or small adult. Right? Wrong. I bought the ball and it ran out. But thank goodness there's white in the pattern, in the yarn. I was able to just complete it with white and add a white pom-pom. So it wasn't quite what it said, but this will make a nice, it's a cute hat. This gift is for my sister's little grandbaby. And this is a poncho that I crocheted her. And I put her name in beads down the front. Is that cute? So really, the mistake, I just used some of the same white and added the pom-pom. So you would never know there's any difference. What do you think about that? I think she's going to look really cute. She's tall for her age, but very, very slim. She's only 4, so I think this will work great. What do you think about that? Okay, and I had a little extra yarn, so I did a little headband just in case. Another gift that I want to show you, I have a friend, you know, that cooks, or if you have one that likes to cook. My favorite TV show, I watch a lot of them, is The Chew. I love this show. And this is their new cookbook. So I couldn't wait to get to Barnes & Noble so that I could get this cookbook. It wasn't on sale, but it was worth it. So I wanted to get it to put with the other things I've collected. It's all in the presentation. So let's go through it. I was able to find these beautiful measuring cups. Happens to be the same green on the cover of the book. I thought was really pretty. Wait for it. How about this? From the dollar store. An oil and vinegar. Aren't those beautiful? Wouldn't you like to get some of the, wouldn't that look pretty? Sitting out, oil and vinegar, especially for someone that loves to cook. Wait for it. And now I can give them my dishcloths. And ta-da! I use my first stamp that you scrapbook people use. I bought me some stamps and I use it. I'm just a beginner. Baby steps. Don't judge too much. It's the gift. But isn't that cute? Look. Dishcloths and dishcloths. So this is a nice gift for someone that I'm going to give who cooks and hopefully likes to chew. And one last thing that I got at the black sale. I found this little dress form was just marked down. I think I paid like $3 and something. But it matched the color of my room, so I bought it. So now that completes what's new with me. And the next thing I want to show you is, well, let's see what's on my needles. Let's see what's in my knitting bag. Well, let me show you this box I also got at Joann's. And it was marked down. I think I had got 50% off. I love this box. And I thought, my husband we used to call him Bear. So as soon as I saw this box, I knew I could come up with some things to put in here. So let's go through the box and then I'll show you what I'm going to add to the box. So inside the box, okay, this is a nice man box. Of course, every man can use some good smelling soap. This is Dial for Men. Smells great. You know, they're not into that fancy hand soap. They want something they can really use. How about these nice thermal socks? That's just a simple little, without going out on a limb, just simple socks. They always need socks. And I had some wool that I had been working on this scarf. So I had some left, so I went ahead and did ear warmer. This wool, this is the pretty wool. And you know, for a man, one of the best patterns that you can ever use, and it's one of my favorite. You know, if you're new to knitting, I will be, as I go on and do more videos, I will tell you all the sites that I really love and that will help you. But if you're already a knitter, you know the 2x2 rib, or any of the ribs, is wonderful for a man. What a nice man's scarf to roll really pretty, to roll it up and add to my Christmas box. Well, I also wanted to show you what else is under my tree. I got the bear box done, and I want to show you, I got this little thing, don't ask me why, but I have this little thing for white boxes. Everything I do, I have to, as soon as I'm done, I put them away in white boxes. And I put them away as if they were going to be a gift for someone. So for example, when I do, I call them spar cloths. I not only use a different stitch for each one, but I try to use different color combinations to make them shine. Now here's a nice cable. Here's a simple fan and feather. And then just here's a nice rib looking stitch. So that's just something, I don't know, I just have this thing about white boxes. Let's see what else is under my tree. Oh, look at this. Here's a nice little gray beanie. I got so much little filler stuff. I have a beautiful beanie with a little glitter inside. Also, I have the fingerless mitts that go along with the beanie. So, I'll find one to give this to that would really enjoy it. It's nice and warm. It's comfortable. Not tight. That's under my tree. Ooh, look at this. Oh, look what else is under my tree. Bling bling. This is one of my signature pieces. Remember I told you I have a love for the rib stitch. And a lot of times I'll add it right to the end of the scarf, only because I just think it looks so pretty. So here is a nice rib with a lot of bling. And did you notice my little extra bling? And that, I want to thank all you bead ladies, because I picked up a lot of things and I will go into how I use it. I'm willing to try anything as long as it helps my knitting or makes my knitting look pretty. So that's something. Along with this, I have a beautiful, I won't put it on, but it's an ear warmer. Bling. Is that not pretty? Ooh, but I see something even better. What's under my tree? Okay. Oh, you have to see this. Don't go away. Don't turn your back. Hold on. Wait for it. I have my fingerless mitts. Aren't those pretty? Oh my gosh, I need to give this gift to myself. Oh, wait for it. Wait for it. Told you I have a passion for the rib stitch. Watch this. Oh, I'm totally transformed. What do you think? Is that pretty? It is so warm. Whoever gets this, look at that, a little bling. I love that little extra. Knitting is beautiful, and it looks fine. You put it in a little box. And, You got to give the little extra. You got to put a little something on it. So, wait for it. And if you wanted the complete set, you got to have a beanie. This is a beautiful hat. I won't put it on. I should put it on. I don't know. But it is very pretty. Look at the stitch. It's just an eyelet stitch. But on this hat, it looks great. So what do you think about that? Oh, but I see something else. Oh my. Okay. Ladies box. Time for a little R&R. Okay, let's see. This was another box I got at the Black Friday sale. I'm just going to buy these boxes up every time I see one now. So I'll have them all ready. Let's see what's in here. Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, bam, Russell Stover. Every lady needs a little bite of chocolate. Of course, my favorite soap, but you can put your favorite. Olive Olay. I'm telling you, Olive Olay. All right, some footies. A little Bath and Body. You can never go wrong with that. I buy it all the time. I just love it. This one is Aqua Blossom. And again, my Sparkloths. And I mix up the patterns. If you just do the same pattern on all of them and make the set, it's not that interesting. Here's my Fan and Feather. It's like a little hand towel. Then I did a small little leaf up the side of one spar claw. Kind of hard to see, but I'll have some pictures of these close up. And another fan and feather. I fell in love with the fan and feather because I have one site that when I finally got my own computer and I could look up all type of all sites and things like that a few years ago, I pulled up one site that I love. I follow her for a long time. It's called Miss Woolly Knit. She's out of Canada, and her name is Mary Ann, and she just does a fabulous job. And one of her favorite patterns is fan and feather. And after watching her so long, that became one of my favorite patterns. So fan and feather, love it. So, what do you think about that? Wouldn't you like to get that? I'll repack this later. Okay, moving right along. I have one more on this side to show you. Now, I'm a vintage type girl. And I don't necessarily have to have new things. I've had this beautiful jewelry box for years. I think it was a freebie. You know how when you buy perfume or things at one of the big stores, Macy's or wherever, sometimes you'll get a free bag, sometimes you get something else free. And I had this for years. And I decided to use it, and it will make a beautiful gift for someone. I have some vintage pearls from the thrift store, but they're very pretty. A little drop of chocolate. And the scarf that I knit to put with it, wait for it, it's my version. There's a scarf in knitting called a seaman scarf. And that simply is where they will knit a section, and then the section will go into a rib section, and then you repeat it, the knitted portion again at the other end. Well, for a woman, it's big and bulky, and that's too much. So this is my version of a seaman scarf, but made for a woman. Now watch. And it just fluffs up so pretty. And it doesn't give you all the bulk as a full seaman scarf, and you get to see your jewelry. And it doesn't add up. Is that pretty? It feels so good because of the rib around the neck. What do you think? Wouldn't you like to get that? Isn't that pretty? Now I don't have a mirror in front of me, so I can't tell if I'm doing it right. And vintage pearls. What else could be prettier? I love knitting. I love making beautiful things to give to people. I just hope they enjoy wearing it as much as I enjoy making it. Well, I have more under my tree, but I also want to show you some other things too. So, hold on a minute. Well, before I end, my last segment I want to call What's Old. I've done what's new. I've shown you what's under my tree, what's on my needle. Now I want to show you something old. And this is this sewing machine. This sewing machine is not a hand-me-down from a relative or something. One year I was at a craft show. I'm a crafter. I used to do craft shows. I did them for about 20 years. Did quite well too. But one year I was at a craft show, and this nice elderly couple came up to me and was admiring my work and talking to me, and I had little simple quilts like this and lots of other things. You know, I was one of the decorative painters. You remember Country Blue and stuff like that and all the country stuff? Okay. Well, I had all this stuff painted up, and I had painted some little tabletop quilts. And they walked up and they were looking at my work, and they said, "Oh, you just do such great work." And I said, "Well, thank you." And she was telling me, she says, "Well, I used to sew, but my daughters are not interested." And she asked me if I would like a sewing machine. Well, I was, she was a customer. And I said, "Well, thank you. I'm thinking of something nice and new." She said, well, next time, where will you be? Where will the next show you'll be? And we'll bring it to you. So I told her, and I said, well, thank you. And then they walked on, and I kind of forgot about it. And then months later, the couple showed up, and they had this beautiful old-style singer they brought and said, well, we wanted you to have this. I don't think it was a real authentic antique, like something real vague, because I could tell by the cabinet it was in. But someone had put it there. But anyway, it was an old machine, and I just kept it packed away for years. And when I redid my Knit and Purl Jam, my space here, I asked one of my friends, and she said, well, you know, you could try to have it redone, but if you're never going to sew it, why don't you just make it a part of something that you will always cherish? And that's what I've done. So we just snipped off the cord because it was rotted anyway. And I have kept it here on my table as a beautiful, just as, you know, something nice. You know, it was just such a nice surprise to someone, to not only to give it, but to give it in a great spirit. And that's kind of what Christmas is, isn't it? So I was real excited. Another thing that's old and I want to show you, I'm a collector. Well, I call them vintage books, but they're really from the thrift store or whatever. This is a vintage book. And you'll find a lot of the Better Home and Garden books. You can find them a lot now. But they have the greatest, some of the great patterns and recipes, and oh my gosh, I've just got a great collection of books. And they give you such beautiful projects that you might want to try. And they're usually in great condition. Beautiful projects. And so I not only collect them, but I'm using them as decoration. You see? It's just like the quilt I held back there. It's a great way to show off your collection. I have another one I want to show you also. So let's go over here. Well, and here's another Better Homes and Garden book. I should have looked up the date. But this is Christmas at Home. And look, right off the bat, Christmas stockings. I can't wait to look at this pattern to see. It looks like intarsia knitting. I don't do Fair Isle, because Fair Isle just doesn't look good on my body type. But intarsia is very pretty. Color block. And look, see, they have great recipes. Here's raspberry vinegar, raspberry vinegar, herb vinegar, marmalade cheese. Oh my gosh. Fruit juice jelly, cornmeal biscuits. Choose a bean soup mix. Just page after page. And I'm telling you, you get well worth the $1 or $2 you pay for this book. So remember that. When you're out looking, get a vintage book. Well, I've come to the end of this video. And as we come to the end of the year, I thought I might share with you a little tradition I do for myself. After all said and done, after all the shopping and the buying and the busy and the fussing and the cooking and everything, usually we forget ourselves. And this is a little tradition I started for myself. On Christmas night, Christmas Day, all the dinner's been eaten and the packages have been opened. And Christmas night, and you have the programs on television and the house is quiet, or you get a minute to just kind of steal away by yourself. I started years ago. That's when I would always start an afghan for myself for the next Christmas. If you start it that night, just yarn you have or whatever, or you can buy yarn that you know, special yarn. But I started that night. So this was last year's. So I started it, And it was just simply a granny square. So it's not, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can, but this is just a tradition. So by the time this Christmas came around, I had a beautiful Christmas afghan for myself. So this is a nice little tradition. So everything is quiet now. Everything has been done. All the gifts are open. So I'm going to sit here. And as I think about this year and all that we've come through and hope for better next year, I'm going to sit here quietly and crochet. And I hope you've enjoyed my video. I hope you will come back to my YouTube channel come the first of the year. Hopefully I will do even bigger and better things and show you more and knit more. Get to actually knit more. So I'm so excited. And I'm excited that you've been my guest. And just think of this. No matter what has happened, no matter how high, no matter how low, no matter how down, no matter how discouraged, no matter if you were in health or out of health, look around. We're the blessed ones. We made it to see another year. So from my family to yours, from Jay's Knit and Purl Jam, I wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas. And I hope to see you in 2014. See ya!